Now let's take a look at the law of sine. We're using the law of sine for two cases. The first case, when all three sides are given, definitely use the law of cosine. And when you have two sides given and the angle that is in between the two sides. So let's say this side's given, and this angle is given. Let's call it side, why not? So two sides and the angle in between, that's when we use the law of cosine. I have the formulas right here, depending on what you need to find. When we have three sides given, we have to find the angles. So let's start with cosine B, why not? So cosine B equals a squared, this is a here, a is 8 squared plus, here's my formula, plus z squared, which is 14 squared, minus then the angle I'm looking for, the side, so that's 19 squared divided by 2 times 8 times 14. Okay, you want to use your calculator and you want to do the top first. 64 plus 14 squared minus 19 squared, then say equal, divide that by, you need to, if you use your calculator, you need to put the denominator in parentheses, 2 times 8 times 14, and that is equal to negative 0.4509. So to find the actual angle B, you use the inverse cosine of negative 0.409, and that is equal to approximately 116.8 degrees. Okay, so we found angle B. Now we have to use the law of cosine again to find angle. Let's use A. You could have said C. It doesn't really matter. So cosine A equals 19 squared plus 14 squared minus 8 squared divided by 2 times 19 times 14. And if you do that, you get, calculator, 19 squared plus 14 squared minus 64 divided by 2 times 19 times 14 is 0.9267. So A would be the inverse cosine of 0.9267. Second cosine, and that is approximately 22.075, so 08. So now I have angle A. To find C, I do 180 minus 2208 minus 116.8. 180 minus 2208 minus 116.8, and 41.12 approximately. So that is using the law of cosine when we have three sides given. Now let's take a look at an example where we have the two sides given and the angle in between. That is a case when we also have to use the law of cosine. So let's find A. A squared equals B squared 9 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 9 times 12 times the cosine of 25 degrees. So A squared is approximately 29.2375. We take the square root of both sides, of course. A is approximately 5.4 meters. Okay, so that's 5.4 meters. Now we have two more angles that we need to find. And guess what? Let's just use the law of sine that we learned in the previous section to find let's say angle C. So the sine of C over 12 is equal to the sine of 25 over 5.4. Sine C equals the sine of 25 times 12 divided by 5.4. Sine 25 times 12 divided by 5.4. That is 0.9392. So to find the angle, inverse sine 0.9392. Second sign, second answer, and C is approximately 69, not 6.9, 69.9 degrees. Now, of course, to find the remaining angle, which is B, one last time, 180 minus 69.9 minus 25. 180 minus 25 is 85.1. So B is approximately 85.1 degrees, and we use the law of cosine.